Life taught me every L is a lesson, and every day is a blessing. Yeah, Rona Smith, yeah, might have a session. No need for all the stressing.
Welcome back to the Real Balance Podcast. It's your boy DK The Real. This is episode 2, man. I'm excited. Got my boy Ian back.
Yes,
got
sir.
my guy Ramil back.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? And we're gonna get into this thing, man. So today we're talking about fear. This is something that, man, it's something that came out of my life, especially over coronavirus, something that really resonated with me, that I had to go deep within and notice that this is what I have been like struggling with. And it's something obviously that we all struggle with, but I feel like most people, they just kind of brush it under the rug, or they struggle with it in silence, and they don't face it. They don't speak about it. They don't go out of their way to try and get over this. And so, when coronavirus hit, I became a serious journaler. And what I got out of my journal pages was like, you living in fear, and a lot in fear. And so, this whole Real Balance thing is it's all about embracing my fears, and it's all about overcoming fears, and seeing what that might look like. And so I kind of put fear into 3 categories. So we have fear of judgment, fear of greatness, and then fear of failure. We all fear being judged. Ian, you've got, if you want to share, like I said, I don't want to blast all your stuff, but you've got a super exciting business venture coming up. You was telling me the story about how you had to tell your parents, about your new business venture. And, I think that's really cool. Ramil's a boxer, we were both, athletes in college. We both played football, and I think those things kind of shape us to get over fear. Mm-hmm. But even still, it's just different levels to it. You know what I'm saying? And there's always new levels to that. And so, if you guys want to share, sure. Share your story, man, about, how the fear of kind of evolving and stepping up in you guys' lives, kind of manifest. Go ahead, man.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think that there's a couple ways, and start talking about the business in particular. So I am starting it's a good way of saying this, like a cannabis edible company. And I've been working on this business, getting things developed, figuring out my business plan, the structure, looking at legislation and laws and everything. And honestly, my family has had no idea that this is what I've been working on out here in Fargo. They just think I'm out here just doing my thing, doing a job, making music and whatnot. But right. It's been a vision of mine for a long time, and it's a dream that I want to accomplish soon. Mm-hmm. And I knew that, just kind of how I live my life. I know I keep things, I kind of keep things compartmentalized, and I never necessarily told my family kind of how I got to that direction. They were not even expecting this at all. So I made the decision a few months ago to tell my family and to tell my parents. And then my parents were the hardest ones. My siblings, they're cool. We already kind of have that level of understanding with each other. So that was easier. But they're like, what you gonna do when you tell dad? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna tell him,
Right.
And just kind of giving some background into my upbringing. My family, we grew up in the church, super religious. My family helped start a church. And so kind of growing up in that environment, and then being like, dang, I got to tell my parents that I'm about to start a weed business. That's a stark contrast,
Right.
But what was really good about that was, for me, I realized it's not necessarily my fear of, it wasn't my fear of what they would say. It was more my fear of that rejection, or my fear of that unacceptance, or thinking that this is something that goes against, what the family's about or what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, I am the family. I am, I'm part of it. So that's, kind of where we're going. And when I realized that was one of the biggest fears that I had to overcome was, I think you said one of your 3 points was judgment. Mm-hmm. That was a huge thing for me. So I finally was like, I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm just gonna go. I had a whole business plan and everything. So it's not like, oh, I'm just, smoking weed and trying to do something. No, this is me having working on something for, 2 years, trying to get this structured and knowing how I'm gonna execute a business. And, I went back home. I took my dad out to a little business dinner, and kind of had him all, I was like, I got a business, I have a proposal to talk to you about, just kind of set him up that way. And it was a great conversation. When I told him I handed him the business plan, he opened it and he saw Cannabis Edible Company. He was like, but then after like he heard what I had to say and realizing like this is something that I really have thought out, something I'm passionate about, something I want to do. He's like, okay, cool. Like he was telling me, all right, well, you need to do this, this, and this for your business if you want to do this, this, and this.
Right.
And it was honestly getting to that point, I realized like, wow, what was I worried about? The whole time. And even with my mom, same thing. I had a conversation with her and she was like, cool. So it's like that fear was just something that I placed on myself when the reality was completely different from all the fears that I had,
Right. Yeah. And it's like, and that's the thing about fear. It's like, it's usually irrational. That's the crazy part about it. It's usually never as bad as we think it's going to be, and that's, that's just a testament, bro.
In a way, I feel like fear is necessary to help us grow and keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? I feel like it's on one side of that duality that you speak about a lot, DK in life. In order to balance fear is by action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just doing it.
Yeah.
And I agree that, like you said before, there's different levels of fear. You know what I mean? For me, a common theme for fear was disappointment. You know what I mean? Disappointment in myself or disappointment from people. You know what I mean? Not living up to someone else's expectations. You know what I mean? And that could stem from sports, like we talked about, playing football. Did I prepare enough? Am I ready for this upcoming game? You know what I mean? I wouldn't be worried about it if I did the work. You know what I mean? You're always confident when you get on the field, when you studied your opponent. You know what I mean? You busted your ass and practice all week. You're in shape. You know what I mean? So that's how we can overcome fear to keep growing. You know what I mean? I would say that was definitely a common theme. Just am I living up to the person I believe I am? You know what I mean? And we can inhibit that growth by not doing. You know what I mean? Out of fear.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I don't think it's ever going away, because as soon as we get complacent and we're not, striving for better or greater, that's a slow death right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you've already built up some momentum.
Exactly.
It starts to eat you up in live. Like when you've reached new plateaus and you're scared to get to another one. Yep. It's like you can either like progressively incline or progressively or rapidly decline. And so it's like, bro, don't try to go too fast, but you gotta go forward. You gotta go forward.
Absolutely.
And I think that leans into that analogy of the ledge that I was telling you guys about. So like before I even launched the podcast, I planned on launching a podcast with like an anime character and just dramatic, thematic thing where, bro, sometimes I be feeling like I'm like an Avatar character, like some anime Naruto shit. And I'm like fighting through this jungle and I'm tore up and I got, my clothes is torn off. I got scratches all on my back. And it's like an analogy of life, but and then I feel like my Avatar anime character got to this ledge and it's like, I'm looking over the ledge and you can feel the danger. You can feel the uncertainty. You can feel like, damn, like, what if I jump over and it's rocks over here? What if I jump over and the water takes me away? And you know what I'm saying? Or what if I just be forgotten? What if I die and get low? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we look at life. That's how we look at chasing our dreams. That's how we look at marriages. That's how we look at goals. You know what I'm saying? That's how we look at the unknown. And so, so I feel like I'm at this place in life where I'm really at a literal ledge. Like this podcast, my music, my branding, business, everything is like me just saying, fuck it, bro. And just jumping over that ledge and embracing the fear, everything on this podcast, there's going to be some controversial topics that we talk about, and I'm going to have to be okay with being judged or okay with being disliked for the way that I view the world or the way that, my paradigm currently is, and so, it's easy to say I don't give a fuck, but at the same time, we all give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. So we got the fear of judgment, the fear of greatness, and the fear of failure, and then practice getting over the fear. Like right now, I can feel fear in my body. I can feel the uncertainty. I can feel like oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really doing this podcast. Like, I'm really doing this shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and you got to just go. You know that fear is going to be there. You know that fear is a part of our lives. You know what I mean? It's something that's always going to present itself in a variety of ways, whether it's getting out on the dance floor, whether it's, performing on a stage, whether it's going into a business meeting or whatever. Fear has like different ways it manifests, but the point of it is not to let it sit there and be a part of your life. The point is to overcome that. Because fear keeps you down. And if you're trying to ascend, if you're trying to climb these plateaus and you are holding on to your fears, you're not going to get anywhere. Because it's going to continue to drag you down. Like you were saying earlier about, the direction of your life. If you're going to keep climbing, you got to start letting go of fears because more are coming, and the more fears that come at you, the harder it's going to be to go up and you're going to start going downwards.
Yeah. They say new levels bring new devils. And it's so true. It's like every time you break through, one of my biggest things, everybody know I like to smoke weed. So one of my biggest things is me trying to evolve into a true leader and a true role model to other men and people in general is, killing off bad habits that don't serve me anymore, and so sometimes even the thought of living a complete sober life is fearful because it's like, what does that look like for me? Like, what does that really look like? And the thought of that is fearful. It's scary to hold yourself to that high standard of accountability, of leadership, and and just being solid within yourself. And so it's like, it goes down to the smallest little things. It's like, bro, are you afraid to be sober? Like, to just live that life? Are you afraid to be a true role model to other men and hold yourself to that standard so that other men can be like, damn, like he's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And so that comes with fear, because I feel like humans, we can distrust ourselves at times, And so that's when the fear comes in, because you're like, damn, bro. And that whole kind of imposter syndrome, It's like, am I truly a leader? Am I built for this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I built for the long haul? And that's all negative self-talk in your head. You know what I'm saying? Because I am built for it. We all are built for it.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody, but if you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, it goes steep. And then when we get into the chakra system, that is something that deeply kind of transformed the way that I view the world and the way that I view self-healing. And you can take things wherever you want to take it as far as religion and, whatever. But man, when I started to like get into meditation and started to kind of get into the chakra system, it helped me understand balance so much. So a lot of this real balance shit is literally based on Eastern philosophy of balance, yin and yang, aligning all your chakras. And when I started to study the chakras and study how they're said to work, and it resonated with me stronger than anything else, stronger than religion, meditation. So because it just resonates with me so well, So it's like the 7 chakras. So we have the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, and then your pineal gland. Starting down with the root chakra, that's literally where fear lives. Yeah. That is where fear lives. So if your root chakra is unbalanced, you won't be able to make the money you want to make. You won't be able to express yourself. You want to express yourself because you're fearful to speak. And that means your throat chakra is going to be unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? That means, bro, and it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of they're interconnected. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be tapped in with yourself in that sense so you can become balanced. And it's like, now I'm starting to see my finances increase because I'm being less fearful. I quit my job. I started a company. I started this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, this brand is like my new little baby that I'm building. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, when it comes down to just bringing balance to my life and understanding myself. Last episode, we talked so much about understanding yourself, knowing thyself. And, this is kind of just another chip on the block of knowing yourself. And Ramil had some really cool, some notes in his phone as far as, the chakra system is like they're kind of like buzzwords, like I am this, I am that. And they correlate very well. Just it's kind of like a trigger, you know, it's like a trigger whenever you hear about those systems. So super dope. If you want to go over some of those, bro, you
Yeah,
remember
for
some of those
sure.
joints?
And I can definitely agree with you, DK, about how things really started changing for you in your life once you became aware of this chakra system. You know what I mean? It's a form of connecting with your higher self, literally. You know, our chakras, they talk about, are similar, basically like energy centers that transmute energy coming from our higher selves. You know what I mean? That if, like you said, DK, if any one of those things is imbalanced, the way we express that energy is going to be distorted in a way. You know what I mean? And if one gets affected, who knows that doesn't mean another one isn't affected as well. If your sacral chakra, your well-being, who you think your identity is affected, that may affect your solar plexus. And we'll kind of go over with those things, or how that happens as well. So here are some of the notes that I took down about the themes of each one of these chakras.
Yeah.
So for the root chakra, the common theme is I exist. For the sacral is I desire. Solar plexus is I control. The heart chakra is I love.
Mm-hmm.
For the throat chakra, we have I express.
Mm-hmm.
And for the third eye, we have, where are you? I see or am aware. Mm. And then for the crown chakra, we have I am what I am and I create.
Mm. And and the Bible speaks heavily about like the great I am that I am. Right. And bro, and it's ironic that the crown chakra is, you know, like your God body chakra. Mm-hmm. It's not even part of your body. It's more like an energetic.
It's like our divine self.
Yeah, much. You know, and it's like, you can't truly embrace fear until you understand that you are what you are. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people use that as an excuse to be, you know, toxic and to not grow but we just are what we are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then when you accept that, when you're able to look at yourself clear, like, bro, like I am this, but I'm also am this, and this is what I am. It allows you to move forward and accept yourself and not judge yourself so heavily, you know, which allows you to be less fearful in your life, you know, because you're not judging yourself as much. You're like, bro, I'm an asshole kind of, but that's who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm still a good person, and I still, you know what I'm saying, respect people and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But I got asshole tendencies, or I might have lazy tendencies or whatever. I'm not necessarily speaking about me. I'm just kind of giving examples. But, you know, you know, so yeah, coming to understand the chakra system and getting into mindfulness and meditation. A lot of people think meditation is about like, you know, stopping your thoughts, and it's so much deeper than that. Mm-hmm. It's about being in the present moment and being who you are. Like, I am what I am. Mm-hmm. So if you have a meditation session and your mind's a little cloudy that day, that's fine. You know, you don't make too much of the traffic or too little of it. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. And the more you practice, that I found, I've been meditating for 3.5, maybe 4 years now, bro. It's kind of crazy thinking back. Like, I've gotten over 100 hours of meditation, bro. It's kind of crazy. And so like, I don't even meditate as much nowadays. I more so lean towards journaling. That's my go-to. It allows me to be the most present, and the most raw in the moment with, you know, I spew everything out. There's some things I wrote in my journal that I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, man, it's allowed me to be so mindful and so much more helpful to my friends and to myself, you know, and just, you know, people around. You guys know I got my social media brand going on. People swipe up to my stories all the time and be like, you know, what's this mean? What's that mean? Or like, bro, you're inspiring, you're motivating. And that's so dope to me, because like, I feared those things at one point, you know, like I feared posting. It's the littlest shit, bro. Posting my workouts, posting my quotes, posting what I'm reading, being open about certain things in my life. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like second nature now. You know, eventually this podcast is episode 2. Eventually it's going to be second nature. They're going to get better and better and better. People are going to be able to come along this journey with me, you know what I'm saying, and see how I've grown, to see how my music has grown, to see, you know, how I started off with fear. And then in 6 months, I ain't going to fear shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be second nature, you know? Mm-hmm. And so Yeah, man, it's just crazy. That's just a testament to show, like, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And a point you made about the journaling, and that was something that you actually kind of got me doing, and you're talking about the artist way and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Going back and reading what was on my mind at these times is kind of crazy, because I'm like, wow, I was really, there's things where I would look at it, it's like, okay, this is all fear, you know, or this was frustration because I was afraid to do something to like get out of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I definitely see that a lot, and kind of going into these chakras. And I think you were saying the root chakras is what is kind of where your fears can be. I don't know. I'm not really like well versed in chakras, to be honest.
Yeah. That's where fear lives, bro.
Mhm.
That's where if there's any blockage of fear of that type of vibration, it's gonna happen in the root or sacral solar plex. Like they say, listen to your gut, because they say your gut's like your second brain. Your gut is intelligent, bro. It's very intuitive. You know, so when you feel that shit in your gut, listen to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Here's another thing though. If any other of your centers are blocked or imbalanced, what seems like your intuition speaking to you could also be a distorted message, because there's an imbalance maybe in your nutrition. So your gut isn't as clean or working optimally to communicate messages to your brain. So that once again just goes about a balanced lifestyle.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So these centers we can be balanced, and so that we can have the confidence in ourselves to overcome fear and accomplishes our goals or whatever we're passionate about in this life.
Right.
So.
And that's just a testament to show like why mindfulness and consciousness is people lack it so much. And that's why it's like, you might see all these workout gurus or whatever on the internet, but it's like, or people that's trying to get into health and fitness, but bro, everybody needs balance, literally conscious balance, because it's like, bro, if you drinking Mountain Dew and fucking eating bullshit, bro, it goes down to the smallest things, like your gut health, like your gut bacteria, like you just said. It's like, bro, if your gut's not in symphony with the rest of your body, how optimally are you actually working? You know what I'm saying? And everybody doesn't want to be at their optimal self. That's something I really had to understand recently, is that like, I got this thing, the people that are around me have this thing, you know what I'm saying, where we're always striving, we're pushing, but everybody literally does not have it, you know? And so I feel like that's why I'm so compelled to shoot this podcast, to do my brand, and to shine my light on the world, is because I want more people to live more self-aware and more self-conscious. And like I said, my own self-enemy is like, who do you think you are? Nigga, you like to smoke weed too. Like, you get tempted with cake and cookies too. Like, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't the motherfucking guru of health and fitness, you know what I'm saying? But I'm about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm really about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm really, you know, I really get up every morning and read and journal. Like, I really soul search, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no cap about it.
You're being.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's that I am that we spoke about, that you spoke about from the chakras. Like, I am getting better. I am balancing my chakras. I am living optimally. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, that's where the confidence to even shoot the podcast come from. People don't just get up one day and shoot a damn podcast for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure,
you know, but those fearful thoughts, even still, you know, they'll try to break you down and tell you what you can't do. And it's like, bro, fuck that shit. Straight up.
I hear you.
So Ian, you brought up a good question that you asked us before we started shooting the podcast. And DK, I want to ask you this first, and Ian, you can follow. Or do you feel like there's any chakras currently that aren't flowing the way that you would like, or optimally, or could be blocked? What's your thoughts?
Man, hell yes, bro. I think, honestly, my main blockage right now, well, my main blockage was fear, but I really feel like my root chakra is really flowing right now. Like, I'm doing what I want to do these days. So I feel less fearful and more free these days, because I said fuck it and did what I wanted to do anyway, you know? But honestly, I think the biggest block for me right now is my heart chakra. And I say that because, like, you know, I study philosophy deeply, to the darkest depths of it, to the most biblical, Jesus-y parts of philosophy, you know? And so I understand human nature to an extent, or just existing to an extent where life isn't really what it seems. Some people are super pessimistic and they have this crazy view of life where it's no positivity and everybody's bad. And then some people think the world is just glitter and gold, and it's not either one of those things. Literally, everything we think it is, it's somewhere in the middle. That's why I'm about this balance shit, because it's like, bro, people got the game fucked up. And so with me, you know, I come from a very traumatic background with both my parents. I had to, you know, teach myself to gain trust in my mom again, my father again. And now, you know, those relationships are getting better. They are getting healthy. But, you know, just being realistic with myself, you know, I have had the luxury to bro, I've met some dope women, but it's a mixture between me being like focused and I'm trying to get to my bag, but also I just know I won't open up to women as much as I should be because of that imbalance of my heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very cautious. And that's good too. You have to be, you know, that's wisdom. But I want to be more freely giving, at least to the people around me, bro. Like, I want the people around me to feel so much love, bro. Like, so much love. And I be journaling like, bro, like, I want to give more to the people around me. Like, fuck the, you know what I'm saying? The people that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck y'all. But like, bro, my people, bro, I want to pour love into my people, bro. Like, and I don't think I necessarily have that capability. Now, I'm sure you guys feel love for me, but the love I want to pour into my friends and my closest people is nowhere near where I want it to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to cultivate unreal relationships of intimacy, of, you know, brotherhood and love, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think I'm to that point where I created a space within myself to let it flow, because I'm always trying to withhold something because of trauma in my background, or like I said, you know, I don't look half of like what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? And so
healing's been done so thus far.
Steps to healing has been done. Right. Steps has been healing. But when you ask me that question, the first thing I think about is the heart chakra, because, you know, I just think love is the highest vibration on this planet, man, and gratitude. And I'm a very grateful person, but I want that gratitude just for the way that my life is trajecting and where it's headed. I just want to be able to exude more love, you know what I'm saying? Into the people that I truly, truly love. Like, I don't want none of my friends or loved ones to leave this planet without knowing, like, bro, I know DK loved me, bro. Like, he's, you know what I'm saying? And so even me wanting to be a future husband and, you know, I want to be able to pour that healthy love into my future wife, my future family. And so, you know, like I said, if you are op, you are op, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't with ops right now. So I really want to work on being more, you know, not all soft and fucking mushy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I just want the people around me to feel that love, bro, to just feel it. And so that's where I feel like I'm blocked at, or most blocked at. Yeah.
How about you, Ian? I know you don't know much about the chakra system, but if you can just kind of go over if you've been experiencing like any type of fear, like we've been talking about, or self-esteem issues, maybe growing up, or any point in your life, or having troubles with communication with people. Can you kind of just maybe express?
For sure. So I think where what I've been working on lately has been my root chakra. There was a lot of fears, within relationships that I had with people, and also just fears within myself that I saw reflected in other people as well. And I was like, dang, like I need to like overcome this, and realizing that and doing it are two separate things, you know? So for me, there's fears that I've known about, or it's frustrations that I've known about that have turned into fears for whatever reason. And I was just fearful of overcoming that and fearful of getting rid of that. You know what I mean? Because I was in my safe place. I was in my comfort zone. I wasn't trying to jump off the ledge. Yeah. You know, I think growing up, I wouldn't say I had like a lot of, you know, self-esteem issues necessarily, but I did have insecurities about my place in the world, you know, and I was fearful of my thoughts. I was fearful of saying the wrong thing to my parents, or, you know, like coming off as you know, like I don't care about, you know, religion, for instance, you know, which was pretty big, you know, growing up for me.
Mhm.
And being able to like realize, all right, okay, I need to start taking steps to align myself with my higher self, because I know that I need to be comfortable with who I am and I need to accept who I am, as opposed to trying to change myself to fit other people's molds.
Mhm.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's something that's a big thing that I've always struggled with, is just trying to change, you know, change form for different people, you know. And I'll give you an example for me, you know, in terms of how I maneuvered in school, whether it be like high school, whether it be, you know, college, whatever. I had separate groups of people that I could kind of have this certain image of myself when I was with them, you know, but it's not how I was acting, you know, with this group of people. And ultimately it wasn't me being myself, because I'm trying to show people a version of me that really only exists at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I would say, in terms of what I am working on right now, what I'm trying to balance, I think the root chakra has been really vital. And you were talking about how the root and the throat chakra are connected, and that's your expression.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I see that now that I've started to overcome a lot of my fears, that my expression, my self-expression has gone way up,
Mhm.
because I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. I'm not afraid to do what I really want to do.
Mm.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not too well versed in the other ones.
Oh yeah, so you got the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, pineal, and crown.
Okay, and I can speak on the heart chakra as well. I think that's something that I personally have always, like, I wouldn't say it's been a strength of mine, but I think it's been something that's been a lot easier for me to overcome, because I do try to show love to everyone, you know, that I'm around.
Mhm.
And you know, I just kind of the way I see life, and I can look at other people, I can tell their energy. Some people just need love for, you know, whatever. And I think we were talking about this. I think this was last week, where like sometimes you can just say like hello to somebody, or make a comment to them, and that can change their whole day. And that was the love that they needed,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
I personally don't mind like showing that to people, because I know that, you know, like the energy that you put out gets reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that the more I express myself, and I know that I'm like, all right, look, I have love for everyone. You know, I ain't got ops or nothing like that. You know, and even still, like I'm not here trying to start beef with nobody. Like I don't have time for that.
Right.
You know, but being able to, I think I'm very comfortable expressing myself and showing people love. And it's something that I want to continue to work on, as well as use that to expand, you know, my balance in other chakras as well.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, bro? How do you relate to balance in your life with, you know, with the chakras, and kind of, you know, just analyzing them?
Man, it kind of goes back to knowing myself at the beginning, you know what I mean? And with that process, I kind of went down this lane of becoming aware of the chakras and what each one represents. And by doing that, just recognizing little things like fear, once again, the topic of the day, just understanding how that can affect my root chakra, you know what I mean? That could be a blockage, and how naturally who I am, y'all know me, Ian, you know me for a little bit. Naturally, I'm more reserved, quiet dude, you know what I mean? I don't really speak much.
Mhm.
And just becoming aware that that's associated with my throat chakra, you know what I mean? And being able to understand that I'm not expressing, because of this, I'm not expressing truly who I am at my highest self, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just learning how to overcome that, and having the will to be that and put it into action. You know what I mean? And I just continue to try to work on these things, man. You know, everything could use some work. I would say mainly my root chakra and throat chakra could use the most work, because fear, for me, I believe, in my opinion, it's never going to stop. You know what I mean? It's just like a constant, as we go along on this journey, there's just obstacles as we reach new levels, like you guys mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be there. I know that. But as long as I continue to be my best self, you know, make sure I'm working out weekly, making sure I'm fueling my body with nutritious whole foods, or whether that's supplementing with something like minerals and essential vitamins. reading on a daily basis, you know what I mean? Feeding my brain, feeding my soul,
Yeah.
listening to people, communicating with people, just trying to balance everything, you know what I mean? Because there's different aspects that we have to do in life in order to come to balance and continue to climb that ladder to our high self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we're deficient in one area in our life, it's going to show up and manifest, like Ian said before, in another aspect of our lives. So these are things that we can always continue to work on a daily basis. It doesn't stop. The effort shouldn't stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? The growing, the learning, none of it stops. So that's keeping that in mind for me is what helps me to continue to try to balance those scales in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I want to ask you a follow-up question, and then I'll pose this to you as well.
Mhm.
Do you have any specific areas in your life that you feel like you either have struggled to find balance in, or areas that you're like, all right, now I have balance. This is something I've come to, to have that balance in.
Mm-hmm. I would say identity. And I believe that's associated either with the root,
I think that's a pineal.
pineal,
Pineal and crown. It's they're all higher vibrations.
higher vibe,
Yeah.
identity with our higher self. But I'm thinking more similar to either our sacral or solar plexus, because identity as far as who I am in this physical life, and because I, in my opinion, I feel like because how the chakras are separated between the lower chakras and the upper chakras, which is more connected to our highest self. The higher chakras kind of connect us on a higher level, and the lower chakras connect us more here in this realm, on this earth. You know what I mean? So at times, I am very connected with my higher self, with my identity in this realm, on this earth, with you guys. I believe that's what I've struggled with in the past. You know what I mean? Like knowing who I am at this moment, you know what I mean? What I can be in this life, how I can contribute in this life, you know what I mean? And the disappointment if I'm not out here contributing what I should contribute, because there's people out here doing great things in this life, man, and we all have something to bring to the table.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So me loving people, want to see people living out their best life, you know what I mean? Like I want to contribute. You mentioned something, just saying hello to somebody on the street can make their day. You know what I mean? I just keeping those things in mind for myself. So that's what I would say. So, but that's how I help balance that identity issue, just by doing, man, and just continue to know myself, which is another common theme on the show.
Yeah. So what do you say you're doing right now to kind of counteract that? Like, what would you say? Do you feel like that's becoming more clear to you these days?
Yes, I feel like each day I keep on trying to find ways to grow, you know what I mean? And when I know I'm not at my best self, you know what I mean? That's when I start having those hard talks with myself. Like, what is it that I'm not doing?
Or you're not disciplined.
I'm not disciplined. You know what I mean? What is it I'm recently just started getting out of a phase that I've told you about in the past, DK, how I just felt like I wasn't operating on a daily basis for about a couple weeks like I know I can when I'm at my best self.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's contributed to that is my sleeping habits. My sleeping habits and my eating habits. What time am I eating throughout the day? And when am I getting to bed? Because even something simple like that can throw things off balance in your life. Throw off that circadian rhythm. As you go through the next day, I notice that I'm low of energy. You know what I mean? I get tired easily at certain points of the day. I'm good usually, but at certain points of the day, I notice fatigue. And I started having these conversations throughout those couple of weeks, like, man, what's going on? What's happening? What things do I have to adjust or change? You know what I mean? And just being aware and recognizing that and having that conversation with myself has helped me slowly come back to balance and get out of that phase and get back to who I know I am and what I can be. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is rooted in the fear of greatness, bro. I'm telling you, like the people, like I said, everybody is capable of greatness, but only a few are going to reach it because it takes so much to achieve greatness, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't achieved greatness yet. I think I will achieve greatness.
Yeah.
My name literally means great. So like I don't got no damn motherfucking choice. But like
Mm-hmm.
literally, when you feel that pressure to change, it's because something is your solar plexus is telling you something, and you need to listen to your gut. So when my sexual habits are undisciplined, bro, it's time to cut it out. It's time to practice semen retention.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's time to stop masturbating. It's time to stop fucking hoes. It's time to I stopped smoking tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I do smoke, I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna get to, but that's why I'm being real about where I am. You know, like,
Gotta be.
Mhm.
I'm a cannabis consumer, bro. Like I
Mhm.
like smoking weed, you know.
Mhm.
Now, is that gonna hinder my ultimate greatness to be able to lead and influence others?
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe no, you know. But I need to know what my threshold is within myself.
Yes.
To backwoods, they gotta fucking go. They're out of there. The frontal papers, they gotta go. Like I threw them out, you know what I'm saying? Because I set a line with myself, you know what I'm saying? Like tobacco is addictive. You can't be trying to be great, bro. I specifically set up my brand in a sense where my 4 pillars are unescapable things to bring me balance. Fitness, philosophy, financial literacy, and self-expression. If I am operating between the 4 pillars of my brand, there's no way I can lose or
Right.
be unbalanced because I always have a check system. It's like, okay, what are you eating? So if I'm eating like shit, I know that my physical fitness part of my balance brand is gonna be off guard. You know what I'm saying? If I'm scared to speak and articulate because some 13-year-old on the damn internet or some religious ass person is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, up under my pictures on some bullshit, bro, I don't care. I can't care. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not reading and studying other great minds and, you know what I'm saying, and opening up my own mind and expanding my own paradigms, I won't be balanced. I'll fall back into dogmatism, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of, you know, low vibrational thoughts, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
so, man, you know, so I think that falls into like the fear of greatness, bro.
Yeah.
And, you know, because, man, I got this quote right here, bro. And it became popular to me when I watching that movie Coach Carter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like, bro, I don't got no tattoos, but if I was to get a tattoo, bro, this might be my first tattoo because, bro, this quote hits so deep to me, and it's just so like, it's literally the epitome of this whole episode right here. And it's, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our own light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Mm.
Bro, that's so profound and just fire, bro. It just sends spine up my whole damn body
Yep.
because it's like, bro, you can't be scared of this shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't be scared of this greatness because it's not failure that we're scared of per se. It's greatness.
Mm-hmm.
It's greatness, bro. And that is the most crazy part about that quote, bro, because it's like, you have to successfully be a failure to be a successful success. Like you have to repeatedly fail to be successful. And that's part of me being an entrepreneur and an entertainer and an influencer and all that good stuff is like, I've gotten over the fear of failure, you know, like every podcast episode is not going to be fire. You know what I'm saying? Every song I drop ain't going to be fire.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. But I'm not afraid to fail anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so, bro, I carry that quote with me so much. And it's so dope and deep and profound to me. So like, yeah, bro.
It's a constant war. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know, there's monks and shit out here, people who really have mastered self.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say like, you know, whatever, but like, bro, it's a war, bro, every day.
It's probably a war for them too, to get to where they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that takes time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dedication. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people might look at me and be like, oh, Mr. Meditating Man. And, you know, you post positive memes and shit. But it's like, bro, like I said, I be in them trenches, bro. I put work in, bro. This ain't cap. You know what I'm saying? I really am about this shit.
Mhm.
And so people might look at me and be like, oh, you got something I want. And I'm like, bro, you can have it too, but you got to want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get up and journal in the morning, bro. Search yourself a little. You know what I'm saying? Like, read a little.
Mhm.
But I'm even getting to the point where I've been studying, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Schopenhauer. And he's a he's an old philosopher, one of the original OG philosophers, and his philosophy was heavily based around pessimism. I actually just bought one of his novels, and like I said, it's about that balance, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he dove heavily into the aspects of pessimism and things like know your limits. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, well, he even took it a little deeper. He was like, bro, he was saying like you a fool to have kids and get married and shit. And but it's like, bro, when you take it on a deep level, is he wrong? He ain't right or wrong.
It's his perspective.
It's his perspective. And when you can put yourself in other people's perspective that way, bro, marriage ain't fucking butterflies and rainbows, bro. That shit is a war. That shit is, bro.
What's the divorce rate these days?
It's in the 60 percentile now, bro. Like, bro.
That's going up. Because when I was little, like there's, divorce rates are 50%, and now it's continuing to get that way, you know, like continuing to go higher.
Straight up. And so understanding these things has helped me bring more balance. So I meet women all the time and they're like, oh, why don't you, you know, like, bro, like I will go without sex. I will go without ejaculation. And it's like, and I have a pretty disciplined radar when it comes to women, picking women and choosing women. You know what I'm saying? We have these talks all the time. And it's like, bro, screw that. I know the risk of it, but I studied the balance that it takes to understand that. You know what I'm saying? But it's always a war, bro. Because it's like, damn, I meet women. You know how women, what they do to us, bro. All our fucking logic goes out the window, bro. It just goes out the window, bro. And it's like, nah, fuck that. That's some high school shit. And so it's always a war, bro. So I'd be interested to see, you know, how the monks really are. I know they're at another level of discipline and self-awareness that we are, because practice, anything you practice and put your time to, it's going to manifest in your life. You know, I'd like to think that I've cultivated a higher level of self-awareness and peace and zen within myself, you know, just because of the practice that I put in. You know, like I said, I'll be in the trenches for real. So like, bro, yesterday we was talking to Demp, and Trav and Ian, bro. We was talking to probably like 1:30 in the morning, something like that. And Demp said, bro, I don't think we ever really changed, bro. We just be at war with ourselves trying to change. And I'm like, oh shit. That shit was, bro.
We're always gonna be our core self, but there's different aspects of us that are gonna continue to evolve.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or plateau.
Right. And bro, J. Cole said, change is slow, always will be. So fuck that. I'm gonna bust back till they kill me. It's the truth. I think we do change.
Break that down real quick. Yeah, break that down.
What, that verse?
Yeah.
He said, change is slow, always has been, always will be. So fuck that. I'm gonna bust back until they kill me. And so I think what that means is like true change, whether if it's racial injustice, whether if it's the government, whether if it's just within yourself, changing your mind frame. For instance, bro, I call women bitches too much, bro. I'm trying my best to change that shit. But bro, I like calling bitches, bro. Like it's just in me right now. Now, do I need to change that? Yes. But it doesn't change the fact that the true me is, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I just want to take it slow and be more mindful. You know what I'm saying? Like my man's Fred called me out for saying the B word, because he's you know, probably gonna be engaged soon. He's got a daughter, and you know what I'm saying? We was chilling at Ian's crib in Fargo after one of our music performances, and my homie Fred, I just dropped the B word real quick. My homie Fred was like, bro, why they gotta be bitches though? And I'm like, bro, that's just where I'm at in life right now, bro. He's like, man, I feel you, but I got a whole daughter. I got a whole girl, you know what I'm saying? That's probably gonna be my wife. Like
different perspective,
bro. And that's the change. But see, I'm both of those guys at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm single and I don't have any kids and so all that. So it's like, hey, fuck these bitches. But bro, I got a mother, I got a sister, I got female friends who I would never call bitches. You know what I'm saying? Who I would never disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I have the utmost respect for women. So it's like, whatever. I mean, we kind of getting off topic, but yeah, man. That fear of greatness, bro. That fear of greatness is deep. It hits hard, man. It hits hard.
Has there been any novels that's helped you guys throughout this process in your life? in your journey?
I just bought my first 2 novels. I just started reading it yesterday. It's called Don Quixote or something like that.
Don Quixote.
Yeah, Don Quixote. I got that one. I heard that's a banger. Yeah. I haven't read it yet though, but it's interesting. I heard something. I was studying Schopenhauer, and he said it's unwise to read too much because you start to develop other men's philosophies, you know? And part of this real balance shit is to articulate my own philosophy of where I'm at in life. Now, other men have helped me develop my philosophy, but Schopenhauer said he reads novels, not other men's thoughts. Because novels are like, they're just stories, they're entertainment, they're articulate forms of literature. You know what I'm saying? They're not like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, like information and study and, you know, whatever. And so I took his advice on that because I take pride in my own intellect. I take pride in my own artwork. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't let nobody write my own lyrics for me because like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find that balance in studying other great thinkers and knowing that I'm a great thinker of my own and trusting. You got to have balls, bro, to trust your own guts, especially if they're new abstract ideas that go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Like even me growing out of Christianity and religion, you got to have balls to stand on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know,
fear of if you're heading in the right direction.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of, and I haven't really read Schopenhauer or anything like that, but I honestly don't read a lot of books for like self-growth or self-expression or anything like that. Now I do have some that I have read, like 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I think I'm sure you guys have probably read that, if not once, like multiple times. You know, like it's something that's a book that's been around for ages, and that's something that I've heard a lot about. But in terms of kind of developing my own philosophy, like I definitely get things from stories, from movies where I'm like, okay, I see how they did this and I see what this really means. Do I want to incorporate this into how I move, into how I do things in life, you know? But yeah, I think one of the last books that really spoke to me, I can see the author's name. It's Paulo Coelho. And
Alchemist.
Yes, The Alchemist. Oh my God.
Heard that's a good one.
It is a good one. And I think I've probably read that book maybe 3 times so far. And I've always been it's one of those books that I appreciate because I can read it and it can mean something different to me in different times and different spaces in my life. You know, so just going through that journey or realizing like what you had or like what you had to go out and, you know, go into the world to figure out what you already had inside of you, you know what I mean? Or it's like to express that in a lot of different stories that I found in there. But I did think that was interesting that Schopenhauer kind of talks about that, because I have a lot of books that I could read for like self-growth and mastery of things and stuff. Like I have a library, you know, but I choose to do that whenever I like have that interest, and I read those books for interest, not necessarily to figure out how I'm going to go about my life.
Right. And so, yeah, I got to the point where I became a book junkie over coronavirus. I probably read 15 books, and I haven't.
And when we met initially, you were not about that shit.
Hell
You're
no.
like, I would be handing a books. He's like, fuck is this? Like,
bro, he read for fun. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm not reading this shit. Like, you know, bro, like, I done lost count of the amount of books I've read between the start of coronavirus and now. Now, I've developed a lot of, you know, I've soaked in a lot of information and studied a lot of great minds within that time. But now it's like, you know, yeah, bro, study. You got to trust your own intellect. And that's what people fail. That's why people lean on religion so much. And they lean on a God that they don't understand so much. And they lean on external things. It's because we fail to look within and really know ourselves enough to have the confidence to self-guide ourselves. Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, seeking guidance from an outside source of some God, or, you know, whatever the hell you believe in. But, you know, I think essentially whoever created us made us autonomous for a reason, but our society took our autonomy away. And so through social media, through technology, through religion, through, you know, drugs and dependency, the government, you know what I'm saying? We don't grow our own food. We don't think for ourselves. It's you know what I'm saying? And so as I evolve with society, I'm also de-evolving too, because I'm like, I need to kind of, you know, deprogram myself from some of the things that I have programmed myself to. And it's like letting these pastors tell me about my life and who's going to save my soul. And, you know, these college universities, you know what I'm saying, bro, they're just worker factories. And I'm not even a worker now. Granted, I went to school to play football technically, but you know, you get the whole gist of the, you know, of what I'm saying. It's
you
just
gotta
like
deconstruct to reconstruct.
yeah, you know, you got to unlearn to relearn, and you know what I'm saying, and vice versa. And so, and it all starts with fear, bro. If you can't get a grasp and look at your fear in the face and look at yourself in the mirror and know what's crippling you and hindering you, it's going to be so hard to move forward. And that's what I really, really want my brand to be about. I want people to see that articulating through me whenever I start, you know, showing the world that I can sing and, you know, tapping a little more into my artistic side. And, you know, I want them to be like, bro, he's fucking fearless, bro. Like, I want to do that too. I want to start a business too.
Yep.
I want to, I have questions about my religion that I was just a little fearful to question a little deeper but, you know, I listened to one of DK's podcasts and something he said resonated with my soul crazy. That's what I want out of this.
Being an example.
An example. And in order to be that, I have to be extraordinary. I have to be a true leader. You know what I'm saying? You gotta walk the walk to you know, to be admired for the walk that you do walk. You know, and so, you know, I pride myself on that, you know, and so yeah, man. So this is episode 2. Thank you guys for coming through, man. I hope you guys learned something from this episode. Episode 3. So this was kind of been the introduction to the last, you know, to the podcast. The next episodes to come are going to be a little more less about me and more so about the people that I interview, and more so just, you know, so what we got coming next is we're going to be getting into life after football. We're going to be getting into some books that we have read, and we're going to get into some very controversial topics as well.
Yeah.
So
What you gonna call it? The what?
toxic table,
Oh,
man.
Hey,
Toxic table is
man.
coming. It's coming. We got
Get
some,
ready,
yeah,
get ready.
we got some work. We got some work to do, but it's coming. Thank you guys so much. It's your boy DK Real. We out
but I
here.
own them. Life taught me every L is a lesson, and every day is a blessing. Roll a spliff, get high, have a session. Know me